Are you ready to discover a secret that could be sitting in your pocket, your change jar, or even a dusty old box in your attic? We're talking about a coin that holds a hidden history and a shocking secret. A coin that was produced by the billions, but in a rare few cases, carries an error so spectacular that its value skyrockets from a mere 25 cents to a mind-blowing fortune. Forget what you think you know about bicentennial quarters, because what I'm about to show you could change your life forever. We're not talking about a few dollars here. We're not even talking about a few hundred. We're diving into the world of the most sought-after numismatic treasures, where a single, rare 1976 bicentennial quarter could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. So, grab your magnifying glass, get ready to check your change, and prepare to be amazed, because the coin you're holding might just be a jackpot waiting to be found. To truly understand the value of a rare error, you must first understand the history of the coin itself. The year 1976 was a landmark moment for the United States, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To commemorate this monumental occasion, the U.S. Mint embarked on an ambitious project to redesign the reverse side of the quarter, half dollar, and dollar. This was the first time in history that the design of circulating U.S. coins was temporarily changed to honor a national event. The design for the bicentennial quarter was selected through a nationwide competition. The winning entry, submitted by a talented artist named Jack L.R., featured a powerful and patriotic image, a colonial drummer boy holding a victory torch. 13 stars, representing the original colonies, were placed to his left. The obverse, or front, of the coin retained the classic profile of George Washington, but with a unique twist, it was struck with the dual date 1776 to 1976. The U.S. Mint's goal was to ensure that every American had the opportunity to own a piece of this historic celebration. They struck an unprecedented number of these coins across 2 years, 1975 and 1976, all bearing the bicentennial date. The Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark, the Denver Mint, with a Dth mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint, with an Sth mint mark, worked overtime to produce a staggering total of over 1.6 billion bicentennial quarters. This massive mintage is precisely why most bicentennial quarters you find today are worth only their face value of 25 cents. They are incredibly common. But, like all mass production processes, errors are an inevitable part of the mix. And in the world of numismatics, these manufacturing mistakes are the keys to unlocking immense value. The coins we are about to discuss are the true needles in a haystack, the rare, accidental creations that slipped through the cracks and became highly coveted treasures. The errors on a 1976 bicentennial quarter can vary from subtle imperfections to dramatic, obvious mistakes. The most valuable are those that are rarest and most visually stunning. Here is a breakdown of the most sought-after and high-value error coins you could find. This is one of the most exciting and visually dramatic errors you can find. A standard US quarter is made of a 3-layer clad composition. An inner core of pure copper sandwiched between 2 outer layers of a copper-nickel alloy. The 2 outer layers are what give the coin its typical silver appearance. A missing clad layered layer occurs when one or both of these outer layers fail to bond to the copper core before the coin is struck. The result is a quarter that is partially or completely copper in color, often with a slightly lighter weight than a standard coin. How to spot it? Look for a 1976 quarter that appears completely or partially red or brownish red. The exposed copper core will be a clear indicator that a clad layer is missing. The coin may also feel noticeably lighter in your hand. The value, while a minor missing clad layer might fetch a few $100s, a coin with the entire clad layer missing from one or both sides can be worth a small fortune. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1976 quarter with the clad layer missing from both the obverse and reverse can be worth $1,000 to $5,000 or more, depending on its condition and eye appeal. This is arguably the rarest and most valuable type of error, as it involves a coin being struck on a blank planchet intended for a different denomination. Imagine a quarter being struck on a blank intended for a nickel, or even a dime. The mismatch in size, composition, and weight creates a stunning and highly collectible error that numismatists will pay astronomical prices to acquire. How it happens? This error typically occurs when a blank planchet for a different coin gets accidentally mixed in with the quarter planchets during the minting process. It's a logistical mistake that happens so infrequently it creates a true rarity. The value of a wrong planchette error is directly tied to its rarity and the degree of the mismatch. A 1976 Bicentennial quarter struck on a nickel planchette, which is made of a different copper-nickel composition and is slightly smaller and thinner, has a proven track record of high value. A prime example, a 1976 AD Bicentennial quarter struck on a nickel planchette, has been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars at high-end auctions. Even more rare, a 1976 quarter struck on a copper planchette meant for a cent, penny, is a numismatic unicorn. A similar coin from a different year has sold for over $35,000, proving the incredible potential of these coins. The term double die refers to an error that occurs during the creation of the coin die itself, not during the strike. The die is the tool that impresses the design onto the blank planchette. When the die is created, it is struck multiple times by a hub to transfer the design. If the hub is slightly misaligned between these strikes, a ghost-like, doubled image is permanently embedded into the die. Every coin struck by that flawed die will show the doubling. The 1976 Bicentennial quarter is known to have several varieties of double die errors, and two are particularly valuable. Double die obverse, DDO, look for doubling on the obverse side of the coin, particularly in the words liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." The doubling can also be seen on the rim and the date 1776 to 1976. The value, a high-grade example of a 1976 AD Bicentennial quarter with a prominent DDO, can be worth $3,000 or more, with some top-tier examples fetching even higher prices at auction. Double die reverse, DDR. This is where you look for doubling on the reverse side, on the drummer boy design. The most valuable examples show clear doubling on the drum, the torch, or the surrounding lettering like E Pluribus Unum and United States of America. The value, while generally less valuable than the DDO, a strong DDR on a 1976 quarter can still command significant value, with prices ranging from $50 to several $100, and top-end examples going for over $1,000. While the errors above are the most valuable, there are many other minting mistakes that can significantly increase the value of your 1976 Bicentennial quarter. Off-center strike. This happens when the planchette isn't perfectly centered within the coining press, causing the design to be struck off kilter. The value is determined by the percentage of the off-center strike. A coin that is 5 to 10% off-center might only be worth a few dollars, but one that is 50% or more off-center and still shows the full date can be worth hundreds of dollars.